Hey all, the episode that you're about to listen to is from a year ago. We were super excited to release it tomorrow, and listening back to it, it occurred to both of us how much we've evolved since we recorded it, and we both started to feel really vulnerable. So we hesitated, but then remembered that the spirit of this podcast is to be vulnerable and encourage other people to be vulnerable. So with that said, we are very excited to share this episode with you and also do some follow-up episodes on the same topics where we can update you to how much we've grown, how we grew, and how open we are to continued growth, and we hope you'll come with us. Enjoy.
Word.
This is Other Maria, the podcast of our real-life conversations about personal evolution, society, relationships, spirituality, and everything else. We're getting vulnerable in these good faith talks and sometimes respectfully disagreeing about which of us is wrong. Just kidding, there's no right and wrong. We're just two friends sitting around talking shit. Wait, talking about deep shit, right? That's what we're doing? Yeah, enjoy.
I was like, it's going to be unavoidably really spiritual. And she was like, I love that. That should be the subtitle.
Unavoidably spiritual. Oh man, we've got so many subtitles.
I know.
Oh boy.
Well, I will say, what's interesting is that I walked in on you and your mom having just finished a very deep conversation. And I obviously made an irresponsible choice this morning and got my lashes done. Financially irresponsible. It's fine otherwise. But the gal that does my lashes is just such a beautiful human being. I like her so much. That's right. I never even saw that coming, but I feel like we're developing for real friendship, but we talked totally through the whole session. And at the end she goes, that was so great. It was like a therapy session for us. And I was like, I know.
Ooh, so we both had good conversations right before now.
Really deep conversations. And then, combos. And a lot of it, for me, we were talking about letting life flow and having the intention, taking the action, and then not attaching to the result. And so I'm there and I feel super zen, and then I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so cute. And then I get in the car and I'm on my way to you, and I stopped at that place, and by the time I got to Starbucks, I'm waiting for our drinks, and I'm stressed out again.
Yeah.
And
ooh, yeah.
And I was so aware of it, and I was just
fuck.
Oh. And
I know.
Try not to judge it, but just I feel there's just under the surface, there's just so much stress and wanting to just know the outcome and have certainty where there is no certainty. I just want to take the edge off the uncertainty in my life right now, and it can't.
Yeah.
It's just so close to the surface that if I'm not actively praying or meditating or engaged in a meaningful conversation with someone, it's right there.
Yeah.
And it's stupid.
Living on the edge.
What did we co-opt Lady Gaga's song for? What phrase? It was,
this is the edge of glory.
What did we say?
I'm on the edge of bullshit.
That's what it was.
I'm on the edge of bullshit. All right, I have pulled from the African Goddess Rising Oracle Guidebook. Oracle deck by Aviola Abrams. Okay, Sitira 17. Sitira.
Brazen. Oh, I like
Goddess of Brazenness from Guyana. Temple Warriors Element Fire. So the Warriors Temple is solar plexus.
Of course.
Of course. You do get all the solar. Your personal power, bitch. Your personal fucking power, bitch.
It's this is the time of me fucking surrendering to my own power, which is terrifying. Okay,
totally. It says our warrior goddesses stand on the front lines of true internal power. The Temple of Warriors radiates energetically with the color yellow and aligns physically with your solar plexus, as we know. Okay. Goddess Sitira is the energy and spirit of Buxton in Guyana, South America. Sitira is brave, bold, brazen, and barefaced, casting a spell with her hips. Okay, Sitira's guidance.
They
All right.
don't lie.
The hips do not lie, Maria. Sitira's guidance.
How many times do I have to tell you that?
How many times?
Lie.
Right. Okay. Step up.
Very
Go
honest.
for it. What?
Very honest.
Oh my God. Okay. Let me read this fucking card. Okay. Step up. Go for it. Partner with the divine to make brazen choices, and everything meant to diminish you will elevate you. All who mean you harm fall away. Your hurdles are illusions because you are plugged into the source. Embodiment. I know. Ooh. Make the brazen choices. What would you dare to do if you knew you couldn't fail? It is brazen to be unapologetically you. It is brazen to speak up for someone not in the room. It is brazen to choose a different spiritual path or career than your community. It is brazen to build your family your way. Ooh.
Hell yeah!
Okay, goddess declaration. I am bold, brave, shameless, and brazen. Okay.
Okay.
Card speaking to Maria. All right. And then we have Mojaji. Manifestation. This is water from Balobedu, South Africa. Or Balobedu / South Africa. Conjurers. Let's see what the conjurers are. The conjurers are sacral chakra. These goddess sorceresses wield the power of creation and magical transmutation. Their energetic frequency is orange, and this temple physically aligns with your reproductive organs. Sacral chakra.
Yes.
Okay. Goddess Mojaji is the hereditary rain queen of South Africa's Balobedu people, a matrilineal queendom. Yes.
Hell yeah.
Mojaji's daughters dance to the frequency of rain. Mojaji's guidance. Showers of blessings are yours. What? You okay there? Okay. Showers of blessings are yours. You are a rainmaker, master manifester, shapeshifter, alchemist, and sorceress. Open your hands and heart. Embodiment. Yes, make it rain. You are manifesting. Big. This has been a long time coming. You are co-creating with spirit. Match the energetic frequency, the ase of your desire. You are magnetic, and like attracts like. Raise your vibration to align with the sacred. Close your eyes and see your blessings. Feel them in your bones. Ask, believe, act, allow, receive.
Oh
My God.
I was literally saying that while you were shuffling and pulling cards.
Yes, and you literally on the recording were saying you were talking to your
Yes.
eyelash lady about it. Divine blessings flow to me so easily. Oh my God. Why is it? Why am I so wealthy? Why
was it so easy for me to become so rich? So fast?
Why is my life so effortless? Why am I just the luckiest person alive?
Okay, so backstory on that.
Yep.
Like, I would say round about February, although I think that's
Of
when it
this
was.
year?
Yeah.
What is time? I thought that was last year.
No, because we started saying that when I got into manifestation, which was like just around February. And that's where it came from, because that's like one of the affirmation styles. Like, you can phrase it that
Nuh-uh,
way.
because you sent me
Swear to
manifestation videos last year. That's very confusing to me.
Yeah, I don't know what time is, though, to answer your question.
No, truly, I'm so confused. Okay, I'm sorry.
But anyway, we were joking with that.
Yes, so
setup.
you just like say,
Like, why was that so easy?
why was that so easy and why am I just effortlessly existing? Okay, what are you doing on your little?
Well, I just wanted
Tap.
I just wanted to look up the definitions of manifestation and brazen.
Oh,
So those are the cards they pulled.
Mm-hmm.
Manifestation, obviously, it's like the act of manifesting. Thank you. But to make clear or evident to the eye or the understanding, to show plainly, to prove, to put beyond doubt or question.
interesting.
In psychoanalysis, of or relating to conscious feelings, ideas, and impulses that contain repressed psychic material.
I don't know how I feel about that one. It's a little much.
No, I could see that. Because, you know how, like, our unconscious bullshit that we don't take care of then manifests out into the world? You know what I mean?
Yeah. A concept that I really like within, like, the realm of whoever the fuck's manifestation, because I get them all cross-confused and shit now, but... One point that gets highlighted a lot, and like intuitively I always sort of knew this, and you will too, but I always really appreciate the reminder that like everything in my outer world is what I have manifested, whether consciously or not.
100%.
And like so much of it is unconscious.
Right.
And like they give examples of like your life changing just completely in like overnight. And their argument is like, people say, oh, you can't do that. Like, your life's not going to change overnight. Then why does it happen? Because people believe it can.
Right.
Or they have an opening to it.
Right.
Maybe it's unconscious, but like, they're open to it. And the reason it doesn't happen for more people is because nobody's open to it.
Right. Because they're literally saying, like, that can't happen.
Right.
So, of course, it's not going to happen.
Right.
It's so backwards. The universe is wild. I have to admit, I feel really disconnected from manifestation.
Yeah, I think you've expressed that before.
Yeah.
Like, you're just not...
I'm not saying
you're just, like, not oriented in that direction.
Oriented. Like, I can't figure out I can do this. It's similar to when I started learning about archetypes. Except that one I then got pretty quickly. But that space where I was like, what the fuck is an archetype? I'm not grasping this concept. That's where I've been forever with manifestation. It's not clicked. Like, I get it, but I still feel disconnected with, like, actively manifesting or something. I don't know. Like, or trying to, like, do work around it or, like, working with it. Like, I'm just like,
Yeah, so two things. First of all, that's how I still feel about archetypes. I'm like,
oh,
what?
Interesting.
I'm just like, I still don't fucking get it, really.
Ooh.
But with manifestation, I think that's the only place that there is.
Okay.
Where you already are.
Okay.
There's, like, not anything to, like, figure out. You know? It's kind of like meditation where it's, like, at least in my experience, it's, like, you know, I guess I'll, like, sit here and close my eyes and, like, set a timer and, like, then I'm, like, meditating. And, like, then I do it and nothing feels
heavy
different.
air
I'm just
quotes.
Like,
okay.
I'm just like, what the fuck was that about? From what I understand about manifestation, too. And there's, like, I, like, kind of went down the rabbit hole and, like, studied a bunch of different things about it. But there's so much conflicting information. And then there's so many people that are just, like, you know, find the style that works for you. And, like, so much of just, like, how we live and what we do is already manifesting.
Right.
You know, like, setting intentions and, like, meditation here and there and, like all the work that we do on ourself and our limiting beliefs. Like, I feel like that's all tied in.
Sure.
But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm super confused by it, too. And, like, talking to the girl that does my lashes about it, too. And it's, like, really confusing, kind of.
Totally.
Because the approach that I like is this guy, Neville Goddard, has this whole study of, like, how feelings leverage your thoughts. And so in order to manifest something, you have to live in the feeling of what you want already fulfilled and, like, work backwards from that.
Got it.
So, you know, like, I'm so relieved and empowered right now because I have such a lucrative career, right? Like,
sure.
She's right there. But what's confusing to me about it too is, like, part of my brain knows that that's not true right now.
Yeah.
And therefore it's really hard to feel that feeling. But then when I do feel that feeling, I feel like part of my brain then goes, you know, because it knows it's, like, not true right now, it's like you're fantasizing.
Right.
So I think then the guidance from there is something like keep trying to, like, drop into that feeling. And that takes energy.
Yeah.
And you can only do that, or I can only do that for so long. And then I'm like, okay, well, now I'm tired and nothing's happened.
Now I need a nap and everything's the same.
And I mean, I'm talking over the course of like weeks and months.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, now I'm tired and nothing's happened. And then the guidance at that point is like, let go.
Yes.
Let go of the end result. And I'm like, but you want me to keep thinking about this all the time and feeling into it, but how do I let go at the same time? So all my whole point is like, I am not actually any farther along than you. I just like looked at more material.
Well, I know it's definitely brought you further along. I don't know if like then I've noticed that like when you came upon that, you've had a shift since from before it in general. But I could see why you would have to like no, really? Well, because okay, I think okay, I hate talking about this because it's gonna sound
bitchy.
No, I'm like not to. No, just like not to toot my own horn, you know, that kind of vibe. I think I manifest. Oh, sure, I'm such a fucking bitch because I love myself. No, I'm just kidding. I am a badass. No, I think I manifest naturally or whatever more, and I don't have. That's not where my work lies as much.
Sure.
Because here's why though. I think because I just have a lot of self-worth and love that's built into me for whatever reason, and I haven't had to do a lot of work on that. I have had to do some in my 20s and stuff when I was like super anxious and definitely lots of negative thought patterns, but not just, I mean, just not near the levels of all my friends. All of my friends.
No, that's
all of them. Like, yeah. And so I think for me, like, it's hard. I think why I don't resonate with it is probably that I don't need it. And I don't mean to say I don't need it at all. And I'm not saying I'm like above it. But what I mean to say is it doesn't help me to be like, I have a lucrative job. Because, like, it feels dumb for me. But I also think when it's, if you start there and it brings you to why I'm saying that I see growth in you, it's like you started by saying that and then it brought you to the surrender part, where for me, I think I'm already to the surrender part. Like, it helps me most through you, learning through you this. But, like, for me, like, it helps me most to, because I have less safety issues than you do. Like, I feel safer, I think, in general.
Oh, yeah.
Even when I'm scared, what has been helping me mostly...
My sacral chakra basically fell off.
Just fell off. Maria, you gotta go back to the root chakra then, you know. Okay, but...
That's what I meant.
Right. No. Or no, solar plexus really is the one we're always joking about with you.
Here's the thing.
But that's the thing, you gotta go backwards then.
Like, quick analysis of my chakras.
Yes.
The solar plexus is where stuff is happening right now. From the heart up, I am wide open, and from below the solar plexus, I am like
blocked as fuck. Yeah, that's why you gotta go back to the root chakra. Yeah, you gotta go do some like root chakra meditation. I don't know what you need to do. Whatever, flush it out with rainbow light, Maria. Okay. No, but like I think what has helped me the most in like calming anxiety, I feel, is going straight to detaching from anything that's gonna happen and just going, I'm going to be okay. I am okay.
Right.
So I will be okay. I will always be okay. I just have to always kind of say that. I don't know the outcome. I have no idea what the universe has in store for me. No clue what I'm doing. No clue where I'm headed. But, like, I know I'm headed in a great direction. So that's just what
Totally.
That's all I can, like, hold on to. Because also, like, because I could get caught up in all the other things. I could also feel really shameful about what my work situation right now. Or freaked out about it, or felt like I was going backwards, or whatever. And it was just like, you can't go there. Like, what's the point? It's so useless.
Right.
Then I'm just driving myself crazy and not having any fun.
Right. Well, say more about it, though.
Please, yes.
Like, I'm interested. Something about relation to anxiety?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how does that match up for you? Manifestation with anxiety.
When I am super anxious, all it is the racing negative thoughts. So there's no... I feel like anxiety muddles everything so you can't manifest shit. Good shit. It manifests all the nasty shit when you're in anxiety. For me, when I was in anxiety brain.
Okay, sorry,
That's what
I misunderstood. I thought you were saying, like, manifestation as a technique to alleviate anxiety.
No. I meant, like, once I worked through my anxiety, I was able to, like, naturally manifest better, because it's like, it wasn't that I had, I don't know.
No.
Something like that. Something like that. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Because you're just manifesting all the anxiety in your head out into the world.
Exactly.
Unaware, and unintentionally, because you're also, when you're anxious, like you hit upon something. I do also think there's something not faulty, but problematic when we go to really anxious or depressed people and then be like, do these manifestation practices and you'll feel better. Do these mantras and you'll feel better.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
I think that's like literally on the list, but in
Right?
related to something else too. Wait a
Just
second.
like tell yourself you love yourself over and over
No,
again
literally,
every day,
wait,
and you'll be fine, and you'll start to feel better. It's like,
That's literally on the list, Maria.
is it? I believe you.
Oh my God, wait, what did I say? Almost exactly that.
Yeah.
It's like when people are asking questions of like guides or teachers or something, like people are asking questions and they're like, I really want to do this thing, but like I'm so scared and like I don't know how to start, and like what advice would you give someone just starting off? And their answer so often, it drives me batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Their answer is like, you just have to believe in yourself and know that you can do it. And like, they're just like, yes, I know.
Yeah.
How the fuck do I do
That. Right. Oh, just believe. Got it. Heard.
Just like know your value and that you're totally
Right.
worth it. And it's like, yes, I obviously like have confidence in yourself.
No. Yeah, no. Yeah, yes, I got it. That's why I'm asking how to do that.
Right.
I'm not asking you to tell me to believe in myself.
Have that thing you don't have.
Have that thing you don't have.
That
yeah.
thing you don't have, get some. Get out there, get some.
Totally. I struggle with that a lot, because I obviously, you know me, I really like to like help my friends. And mind you, that's my own shit. I've worked on that a lot too, of releasing and just listening, just being there to support, just listening. And, I have long-standing friendship, and I'm not even talking about like my closest friends. I also mean newer friends in my life, but I've been friends with for a long time. And
Your B-list friends.
my B-list friends. I'm talking about my D-list friends. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. No, but
I only have A-list.
yeah.
Like 4 of them.
But yeah, you know what I
four
mean.
friends.
Like, I have friends that I've now been friends for like 2, 3, 4, 5 years.
Yeah.
So they're my newer friends, but that's now years of friendship, and
Yeah.
I'm watching them go through like mental health journeys and growth journeys and stuff, and they're younger than me, and it's like, I can only go so long without trying to help someone. I am so annoying. No, I'm so annoying. It's so annoying.
Trying to make the world better.
Yeah, no, but just, be there to like assist in the journey gently or whatever. But
Yeah.
it's hard. I sometimes do think about I have one friend of mine that's just so depressed for like a long time. Mm-hmm. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, how do you fucking help? Like, and I don't actively try, because I'm like, how do you help? Tell them to go to therapy? And they have too, like, right? So it's just that makes sense. But like, I do sometimes, if the opportunity arises where they are asking my advice, I am sometimes like, what the fuck do I say? Because I'm now so much further along on like a healing journey that I'm like, I almost want to be like, just believe in yourself. And you're like, no, that's like not helpful. Like,
I'll believe in you till you can believe in
I'll
yourself.
believe in you till you can believe. Yeah, I'll hold the belief for you. Like, sure,
Right.
I'm doing that anyway, but like, yeah, that's not useful to say to somebody who's super fucking depressed and hates themselves and
Right.
thinks that they're terrible and shitty and suck and don't deserve anything, but want love so bad, or want like happiness and fulfillment, but like fucking hate everything and themselves. Like, okay,
Right.
you can't just be like, stop hating yourself.
You should just love yourself, man.
You should just love yourself.
The one thing that I wish people would say more, and like I have this one quote in my head, but then I haven't really given it much thought, like how to apply it to other things. But like the one thing that made such a difference for me, and if I look back in like my life and my growth, and when I started to like get some traction on liking myself and loving myself,
Yeah.
and like turning my life around, is the line, if you want self-esteem, you have to do esteemable acts.
Ooh.
And that, first of all, it hit me, but it's also so true in my experience. Because even if I'm like really down and I feel terrible about myself and, whatever else is happening, say I'm like walking down the street or something and the person in front of me drops something and doesn't realize it.
Yeah.
And, you know, something as small as like just picking it up, chasing after them, giving it to them, they're
Right.
going to be so grateful.
Right.
Like maybe it was their keys and like they, you know,
Would have been locked out or whatever.
It would have ruined their whole day. Then it's like, okay, but I contributed in a positive way. I made a difference today. Even
Right.
if it's just to that one person. And it's like one thing
Right.
that can just give me a little bit of hope and like this little bitty seed of like, I made something better today.
Yeah.
Like, and if that's the only thing that happens,
Yeah.
then that's like quite literally like planting a seed.
Yeah.
And I probably should think more about like how else that can apply to other things. Like when people say like have confidence or like learn to love yourself or like just believe in yourself. Like how do you help a person believe in themselves? How do you help a person love themselves? How do you help a person, like how do I help you see what I see in you?
Right. That's what's frustrating about it to no end. And that's something I've had to work on so much is releasing, letting go, and knowing it's their path. Because I want to fucking fix it so badly when I see somebody who I love not loving themselves.
Yeah.
It's maddening for me.
Yeah.
It is maddening for me. Because I really like people. And I'm just like, I like you. Why don't you like you? You know? It's maddening. And it's and it's fair. That's what I mean. It's like, it's their journey. Like, they're going to have to figure that out. And I'm just going to be here to support them. But
it would also be really useful to have like a toolbox of like to just like
gently
slip
nudge.
under the door. Like
I mean,
this.
And I will say I've been on a few of my friends' healing journeys that I've stuck out for years, and you do also get a lot of rewards from sticking it out for years with people because they do it on their own, and you're there to support. But like, there isn't much you can do. I'm just saying that for me right now, actually. I'm like, but you know, and also there isn't much you can do. Like, you do have to just sit back and watch and hope.
Right.
You know.
And I feel like you are way better at that than you probably realize.
I've worked on it though too, because because the part of me, the stuff about myself that used to drive me crazy about myself is my like over-eagerness and excitement, which are like, these are like good qualities, but like imbalance, you know, and just like wanting to try to fix someone or telling them what to do or telling them my opinions or my ideas or my thought, you know, whatever. And, you know, and that's annoying to a certain extent back in the day when I would do it. So for some people, you know, where it's just like, yeah, cool. Can you just listen? Stop trying to tell me how to fix this. Right. You know, nobody likes a fixer.
Well, no, but I think like because like I'm just not capable and not interested in doing that for people. Like I'm not.
Sure.
I'm such a bitch.
No, but
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I know. No, but like I would say for
true
you
about you though. You might do it with less people than I do it with, but that's not true about you. Okay.
I mean, like, I have my ride or dies, but like I know that you, for instance, like in our adult lives, like in the past 10 years, you've gotten into friendships that were problematic because the other person needed to grow in a lot of ways, right? And you could hook on to like the belief in them and stick around. And like you were talking about like how you used to be of like overeager and like wanting to help, but like the beauty of you sticking around is that all of that stuff that you would have wanted to just like blurt out at the beginning and like help and fix and whatever, you get to do it over time and drop it in for them when they're ready, right? And you help them. I mean, you really do. Like, Maria, you're the other Maria, not me. Like, you've been a rock for a lot of people, and I have no doubt that it's like super rewarding to watch that transformation. Not to say that like you're above it because you're on your own journey too, but just to like be witness to other people's thing and to be able to drop in with your own wisdom when they get to a place where they're open to it. Fair. Whereas I'm just like, I can't deal with you. Bye.
Good luck. Fair.
And then there's no reward.
No, fair. It's a really weird balancing act to do though, because it's boundary stuff. You know, because I have had friendships that were challenging that early on other people were like, why are you friends with that person? Why are you friends with that person? Oh, I have boundaries. I'm just not going to be friends with them. Like, I'm just not going to do it. I'm not talking about you. Yeah. Like, this is other situations fully. And in a different way than you're saying. This was like in a...
I know there's been a couple.
Yeah. And people being like, really like, I'm just like not going to deal with that person, you know? Yeah. And they think they've got it figured out. And I'm like, fair. Like, no, don't. And actually, sometimes I'm like, why can't I do that better? Like, why can't I just be like, I'm just not going to deal with that person? But once I connect to somebody, ugh, I'm bonded for life. No, I'm just kidding. No, but that's also been something I've had to learn through like losing friendship, or, you know, there's that one big friendship that I lost.
Right.
That affected me very deeply, but is definitely a great learning experience. But friendship is weird, man. We've gone in a big circle, but to go back to like, what do you say to somebody who's in a really deep, dark place? I mean, it's definitely really, really tricky. I do think that is why.
You know what else I think is hard?
Yeah. What?
Because you phrase it that way too. Mm-hmm. Is that like, for me, what I found, particularly within the past like year, when talking to people, like my 4 friends, that are having, like, when they're going through tough stuff, mm-hmm. and like, what do you say to a person that's in a dark spot that doesn't have faith?
Totally. Well, and I think that's why we're doing this podcast, why you and I have been talking so much, why it's so important to me, because of what religion has created for people who claim to be atheists. Because I'm always talking about people who don't have any sort of faith are the people who are like, I'm an atheist. What?
Okay, I need to interrupt you really quickly, because as I was coming over here, I saw the weirdest billboard. I don't understand it. It looked like I'm going to guess that the ethnicity of the man on the billboard was Indian, but I just saw it out of the corner of my eye as I was driving by. But it said, I'm atheist, and I voted.
Wait. What?
I don't know. It was so strange. I didn't understand.
I'm atheist, and I voted.
It was very confusing.
What the fuck?
And I thought about telling you or trying to take a picture, and I'm so glad this came up now because it was very confusing.
Atheist.
I'm going to actually try to see if I can Google
and
it.
I voted. I have so many questions.
I know. It was very strange. And
then people try to be like, what happened to separation of church and state? Like it was ever a thing.
Right.
What?
Okay, but
vote for Jesus Christ.
Jesus for president.
Jesus for president.
God, when is he coming back?
When is he getting his ass back here to take over the presidency? Oh, no. I mean, there's a lot of people who thought that Trump was like brought through from Jesus.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm,
okay.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Jesus really, he's, always at work. Just kidding. Anyway.
You were saying what religion has done to people who are atheists.
The atheists. Well, no, but so this is what I find the challenge when I have a friend who's in like a deep, dark place. And that's exactly what you touched exactly upon what the problem is that I see, where I'm like, you have no faith in anything, in yourself, in life, in the universe, in God, in the planet. Like, no, you think that everything is terrible and there's no reason to think otherwise.
Right.
Of course there's no way out of that if you don't have faith in something. And what's hard about that word, I think, for people, it's hard to hear that word because it's tied into religion. Faith.
Yes.
Right? The word faith is inherently religious to so many people. They think it has to have to do with religion. Right. So then they're just like, fuck that word. Like, faith, what's the other, like, spirituality, right? Like, that word, like, spirit, faith, God, just all those words that are co-opted by religion. And so then people who have no sort of belief system or religion or spirituality or any of that, I mean, first of all, they're definitely the most depressed.
Oh,
absolutely. And that's what drives me crazy, because I love people and I don't want people to be depressed, and they have reasons to not be. And I'm not saying they're choosing to be. I'm saying that they don't see that they have choices to not be. And I think that the only way out of depression is some sort of faith or whatever. And because spirituality got co-opted by religion, there's a large community of people right now who are
really resistant.
And that's why it drives me crazy, because I need spirituality and science to be one as they are right now. And no one's talking, right? Like
quantum theory.
And, you know.
Yeah, and just to like, I guess we're incorporating this as a theme of our podcast, to me looking shit up on dictionary.com.
I guess so.
But faith.
Yes.
1, confidence or trust in a person or thing. 2, belief that is not based on proof.
Correct.
Number 4, 3 is another word that's co-opted. 4, belief in anything as a code of ethics, standards of merit, etc. 6, the obligation of loyalty or fidelity to a person, promise, engagement, etc. Yeah, it really has nothing to do with
religion. You know what I used to say when I was younger? When we were both, so Maria and I also went to church together growing up. We did a lot of things growing up. You, Maria, not me, Maria. Yeah. We went to the same church, had our first communion and our confirmations together, then parted ways because I said, peace out. And did you go in high school? Did you go to church in all of high school?
Dragged
all of
by
high school?
my hair.
All of high school every Sunday. Oh my God, Maria, I didn't remember that or realize that. No, my God.
Yeah,
Sunday of high school?
Yeah, you want to go back to why I'm so damaged in the self-worth category?
Oh my God, I didn't know that. To Bonage? Was Father Jim there that whole time? I mean, okay. At least there's that.
Because we'll come to this another day. But do you remember that
time?
It was our junior year that I had to have lunch with Sister Pat after I made a choice about something. We were still going every Sunday.
Forgot about Sister Pat.
Yeah, she was great. I hope she's...
Fully forgot.
I hope she's happy and well.
Yeah.
She was cool.
Whoa, they made you go to...
Yep.
Oh, holy moly. Okay.
That damage is still being undone.
Oh, gosh. Okay. That's for another day. Yep. I remember when I was younger, when I would be asked about faith, or I would journal. You know me, I've been journaling forever. And when I look back in journals, I'll always be like, I have faith in humanity.
Yeah.
That was always what I would say when I was young.
One of your fundamental, just...
And I remember I would say it all chipper and shit, oh God, just before the damage of adulthood. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. What were you going to say? Sorry.
No.
I interrupted you.
I mean, I think at the time it was a little bit...
Do you remember me saying that?
I remember you always feeling that way.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Interesting, okay.
I don't know if I remember you, bouncing around and, saying it chipper or anything. I mean, I assume you were bouncing around if I think back to how you were.
Back then I was. Yeah, exactly. I just have faith in humanity.
I feel like we, switched to now I'm the one that bounces around.
That's fair.
No, I remember that. That's always been, give you a huge compliment here.
I know.
But, that's always been, one of the things that I admire about you most is that you've always had that unwavering sense in you of faith in humanity. I remember you always having it, and I don't think I've ever seen you struggle with it.
I did during the pandemic.
That's true. Wait, I take that fucking back, yes.
But that was the first time. Right. And it was never going to overtake me, and it was, just a little small percentage, but it was more than I'd ever experienced before.
You did get cynical for a few months there.
I sure did.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and cynical is the right word, but it wasn't too cynical, more just fucking angry and hurt and pissed off and annoyed. I was just fucking humanity. And I was like, ooh, what am I saying? What's happening to me? I felt, it was hard. Yeah, because it was
yeah, we really got...
We have to do that for another fucking... Yeah, Maria and I are going to have a pandemic conversation, but about our experience of it.
Take a seat.
Everyone take a seat. No, and so, but no, it's true. It's true. And it's already way better. It really is already...
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's already way better. It's back to, I think, probably baseline. But, it was really weird to feel that angry at humanity. Because I had never felt that way before.
Totally. I think, and I just want to say, too, that, I'm so grateful to have gone through that with you. Jesus Christ.
I don't know how we would have done it.
No, we wouldn't have.
We decided this definitely before we were born. 100% we were you need to be there. You know, Emma says that. She says some, funny caveat that she gave me in order to come to. Because she wouldn't have come otherwise. But I can't remember what it is. It's really funny. She's says that she said to me, fine, but only if blah, blah, X, Y, and Z. God, I can't remember what it is.
Oh, I love it.
I'm sure, yeah. And I'm sure the same thing with you and I was like, fine, I will only do this shit if we can be friends in 2020.
Yeah, only if we lock it down by the time we're 5 and then
then we can, that's right. You got to be there the whole time, that's all I'm saying.
Sign the contract.
Yep.
To watch that happen too, because I've always been cynical. I think having come out on the other side now, like having that experience with you, and then you did have this period of not even questioning, but just of like being challenged with that belief. Mm-hmm. And I think for, like, I don't remember consciously doing it. I just have to believe that there was like a small part of both of us that was like, no, we have to like, hold on to it. We have to know it's still there, like to some degree. And
certainly.
I think from that too, like I grew into more of what you had always been.
Mm-hmm. You did.
More of a faith.
You did
in
a lot.
Humanity.
Yes.
Which is very cool. So thank you for helping me do
gosh,
that.
Thank you for helping me with getting through that crap ass time.
It's truly the trashiest year ever.
So bad. While being okay.
While actually being
like,
the best
like
year
fine.
Of my
Yeah,
life.
totally. Oh God, it's bad. It's hard to say, but like it's true. Because for you and I, we like cocooned and did self work and explored and had really spiritual experiences and had a lot of like really beautiful stuff happen, but while literally wanting to burn the whole place down.
Oh yeah, the Elmo emoji was like every
Elmo
other text.
emoji is the emoji of 2020, and everybody look up that. Just look up the GIF. It's not an emoji.
Yes.
The GIF or GIF, whatever. I hate that. But the Elmo fire, not Elmo's fire.
Right,
oh God. Okay, let's stop.
Fire.
Saying Elmo's fire. Right.
The Elmo in front of a wall of fire.
Yes, that emoji is everything. An emoji is great. It's not an emoji. Whatever.
It's a GIF.
Doesn't it feel dumb saying GIF? I don't know why.
Because that's the peanut butter.
That's true.
It's Jiffy.
It's not Jiffy. It's not Jiffy.
Oh,
it's Jif.
Right.
It's one of those things. What is it called? Oh, the Mandela effect. Mandela effect. I know. Mandela
Which
effect.
is
what?
A palindrome.
Oh my God. Oh, I hate you so much. Did you see how long I thought?
They heard it.
I was like, Mandela. No. Oh my God. Inside jokes. We can't even. That's hilarious. That's going to be a really good one.
Yeah. Okay. BRB guys.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's like 7 minutes. What are
Except maybe in case we're not back, then we're not.
Then not BRB.
BRB maybe. Like Kanye. Okay, last one for tonight, maybe.
What? Okay, stop. Cool. Okay, what I was going to ask is how you came into faith, or how did you feel about faith when you were a kid is what I wanted to know. And I know it's been such a journey for you to like help you out of some very dark places and things. And I'm just so curious.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
We're opening a can.
Yeah, right. And I know, I mean, obviously if it's also for another podcast, but like a little, because we just talked about my faith in humanity since childhood bullshit. What about you?
I mean, I think I can give you a blurb, like...
Right, yeah.
So we're talking about, like, faith in humanity or higher power or what? Which one?
I mean, both. How did you feel when you were younger? Were you super cynical going to church? Like, what the heck is this? Like, I don't have faith in anything. Were you, like...
Okay,
let's start with that. I'm curious.
Yeah. Okay, in my family, like... both like the nuclear family and extended family. Like my grandma went to church every single day.
Right.
Until she couldn't. And then like on my dad's side of the family too, like a lot of my aunts are, super, super, super deep into their religious faith. And I just feel like for so long, it wasn't optional. It wasn't something to question. Mm-hmm. It was like, this is what you do. And there was one moment within that, like probably up until I was like, there was a couple moments, like around sacraments, like within the Catholic religion. I remember going to confession when I was like 6, because you do your confession, which is a sacrament itself, so that you can do your first communion.
Right.
And I remember, I have such a vivid memory. I can see the priest's face. Being 6 years old, and like, it was like the whole like, CCD group, which is like what they call Sunday school. So there were like dozens and dozens and dozens of kids, and they were like, it was like a confession farm, you know?
Yes.
Because they like brought in extra priests for this, like they were just trying to like pump us through. And I remember we were all like in the basement of like St. Alphonsus.
Right.
And there's like a secondary church down there, or like secondary sanctuary, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. But I remember sitting in the pew with the priest, and like we were spread out like all over the room. Like there was like a priest station every few pews.
Right.
And like we were all like, you know, count off and then go stand in line and wait for the priest. And I just remember sitting there with him like in like the relative darkness of this
weird basement church.
And just literally being like, I don't know what the fuck to say to you, dude.
Yeah.
I'm 6.
Yeah.
Like, I remember that being so clear, and like I knew that my
6.
I remember that, like, thinking, like, okay, what do I get in trouble for? Mm-hmm. Like, that must be what my sins are. What do I get in trouble for? Because, like, confession is where you, like, absolve your sins or whatever. And...
Sorry about the ringing.
It's a home phone. But, yeah, I remember thinking, okay, my sins must be, like, what my parents get mad at me for. And the only two things I could come up with, I was like, when I talk back to my parents, which, like, I think about that now, and, like, what the fuck does that even really mean?
Literally. I responded.
I mean, I remember my parents being like, don't talk back to me. And it was like, So on the long list of ways that I will parent differently than my parents parented me,
right.
I don't actually know what that even means.
Right.
But that was the one thing I could tell the priest. And then the other thing was that I hit my brother sometimes. Mm-hmm. Which, like, I was 6, he was 2. Like, that's what kids do.
Totally.
So, like, I remember doing that, and then I remember him telling me to, like, say however many Hail Marys and however many Our Fathers. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what is this? But then, of course, like, and I had sort of a similar feeling of like, what is this, like, at my confirmation, which like we did together. But I also think that, like, for me, it was almost like none of that was even in the realm of religion or faith or anything like that. It was just like this thing that was built into my life. I was told it wasn't optional. This is how you do stuff. Right. And I don't think it ever occurred to me to, like, have faith or not in humanity.
You're right.
I think I got really damaged in high school and started to, like, not like people. Right. Maybe a little before high school. But then I know that, like, by the time I...
Did you not think about faith much? Because, like, you can say faith in humanity, and I feel like that was a thing I said, but, like... Right. You could have been like, I had faith in animals. And I know, I'm just saying, like, did you not really think about the concept of faith? I don't think
I really thought about it.
Yeah. Fair.
I know I resented religion.
Yes, 100%.
That was being pushed on me.
Totally.
It didn't feel right, but it also wasn't, like, it was just so separate from everything else. It was just like this thorn. Yes. In my life that, like, I couldn't say, oh, I want something better than that. It was just like, that just didn't make any sense to me, and it didn't even fall into the same categories as anything else. So I don't think I thought about anything else. Yeah. And I don't think I really started to think about anything else until I had, like in my mid-20s, I had, like, a really significant relationship. We started to have, like, a lot of really deep conversations, and I saw faith in something. Yeah. In him. Yeah. And it made so much sense to me. Mm. And all that it was at the time was just like, there's some bigger organization to this experience. Mm-hmm. And then we stumbled upon the number 108. Mm. And that, like, crystallized some stuff for me about, like, the universe and spirituality. And then through that relationship, that continued to grow, and I also started to see things in my life and note them as, like,
divine or
synchronicities
miraculous synchronicities, and also just these like really big examples of times when I should have died.
Right.
Really big moments.
Right.
Many, many, many moments of like, holy shit, I should have died.
Right.
Many people have died this way. Why am I not dead? And like that really anchoring me to believing that like not necessarily at the time was it like something's looking out for me, but it was like I am meant to be here right now.
Yeah.
And then I, kind of just had those experiences for quite a while, and then I think when I really needed something, and I stopped drinking, and it was like I didn't know how to live my life anymore, is when I finally was introduced to the idea that spirituality, because I had a concept of a higher power. It was like the universe. That's all I knew it was.
Right.
And then when I stopped drinking and started trying to like figure out how to live my life, I was introduced to the idea that like spirituality and my relationship with whatever power that is, it's personal. And that made a huge difference. That made such a difference for me, because religion, like the religion that was given to me by my parents, to me, it I guess like looking back on it, it was so impersonal, but it was also just such a performance almost.
Yeah.
And no one ever said to me, like, you have a relationship with God.
Yeah.
Right? And, like, I interchange all those words. It doesn't matter. But, like, you have a relationship with that thing that is very personal. It's just you and that higher power. And I think that just, like, worked so well for me because I am such a one-on-one person.
Yeah.
That, like, finally it was just like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh. And then I could, like, fully open that door.
Right.
And started to feel comfort and so much faith. And then I think, like, more recently, like, through the pandemic till now, it's like, I really, really truly know, like, in moments where I am stressed or scared or anything like that, I genuinely feel a sense of comfort if I can remind myself, like, trust my higher power. I get a wave of comfort that comes over me, which is just like the latest iteration of it. But like, anyway, that's my 10-minute nutshell.
I love it.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. And then we already talked about like how my faith in humanity grew. I think like the lack of faith in humanity up until that point was just like, me being a super sensitive kid.
Yeah.
And not having had the support to deal with how shitty kids can be in high school.
Definitely.
Which is, like, not unique to me.
Yeah.
So I, like, took it on as some trauma, but...
Totally. And also, you were not having a good time in high school, besides, right? So that's also, like, all of us, like, the ones who were struggling the most in high school, I think also had the hardest experiences, because you're showing up from a situation you're not having a good time in.
Yeah.
And then, like, giving out that energy. You know what I mean? And so, and we're all such messes, and, like, none of us are getting the support we need.
Right.
So, yeah, high school was LOL. But...
Insert Elmo fire.
Totally. But it's fascinating. I think that the faith in humanity thing always struck me, too, because my thing always, too, from a really young age was, like... Well, I remember I came onto this idea, I think we've talked about this, but, like, I came onto this idea that all of humanity could be compared to one human being, and I felt like we were toddlers in our humanity. I was like, okay, so say we've been around for 40,000 years, and then one human being lives 100 years. We're probably, like, 20 years old. Or, like, 2 years old? I don't really know, you know what I mean? Time is insane, so, like... But, like, I really started to be like, okay, no, that's what's going on. Like, we're evolving, we're growing like one human would in a human life.
Which is so fucking profound.
Thank you. It's so deep. No, but, like, right? Come on. Doesn't that make sense? Like, and we're all... Because for me, I think it was always that, like, we're one. However else to phrase it. Again, people just think that sounds cheesy. We've co-opted it. We've twisted stuff around on ourselves so that we can't have faith because it seems annoying and dumb and cheesy. And it's like, no, like, literally, you're a human and I'm a human. Like, nothing else matters. Like, all the other shit we made up we literally are on some, like, floating rock in the middle of nothingness with a fucking gas ball, like, keeping us hot in the middle of a fucking, you know, like, what?
We are.
Shut up. Okay. I was like, what is that face? No, like, it makes no sense. Like, what the fuck is this, you know? And so, like, of course we're all just one. Like, we're literally, like, zoom all the way out. We're on, like, a teeny tiny little speck of dust. 8 billion of us, and we think that's a lot, and it's, like, nothing. And we're all the same. So it's, like, and we're all doing it together. So I then quickly, in like a few years, like quickly after coming up with that thing, I was like, oh, LOL, yes, this is what resonates with me. Like, all of humanity, I can have patience with us. We're like kids. And then I was like, if you hate people, because, okay, it happened at my last job. What?
No, I know where you're going.
I know. If you hate people, you hate yourself. Yes. If you hate people, you hate yourself. Because I remember...
One more time for the people in the back.
One more time for the people in the back. Because, like... I remember my last restaurant, right before the, like, profound spiritual awakening that started in, like, maybe 2019. This was, like, 2017, end of 2017 into 2018 that I started that job. And I remember, like, about, like, you know, a few months into a year in, I just remembered having a night where I was like, I am different from everyone else. And it hadn't occurred to me. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, I am really different because I keep going job to job to job. And it can happen at any job, blah, 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 blah. But, like, my spaces where I'm meeting new groups of people in new cities.
Yeah.
So that was 3 cities right back to back with different restaurant jobs.
Right.
And so it's a big group of people that I'm working with. And every single one, no one could do anything but complain, bitch about the customers, talk about what trash humans are, hate people, whether hate on men, if that was their you know, hate du jour. Hi, Spot. My cat has awoken from the dead.
Spot.
Okay, but you know what I'm saying? And it finally, like, actually hit. Like, I felt more awake and aware to it. I was like, oh my gosh, like, everyone just wants to say, I hate people, I hate men, like, I hate humans. What the fuck is wrong with them? What the fuck is wrong with people? Why are people such trash? And those same people would just then, like, bring that energy everywhere. And I was like, you're, what? Ah! Like, oh my God. And these are people I really loved and liked.
Right.
And had to, like, put that somewhere else to, like, have these friendships. Because it was like...
It's so interesting that you said it like that, too, after just explaining, like, humanity as a unit.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, you know, what I want to say about those people, too, is that, like, if you don't have the tools to connect with people in, like, a real way, I don't know what I'm trying to, like, how I'm trying to say this, but, like, a way to bond with someone is to gossip or talk shit or commiserate.
Yes.
Right? And that's, like, a really, like, low vibe way to do it.
Yes.
But it also strikes me as, like, when we're teenagers and we haven't figured it out yet.
Yes.
So, like, the majority of humanity is reflecting this, like, adolescent stage where it's just, like, messy and angsty and like the only way we know how to connect is to talk shit and be negative. That's
what it was. It was their way to connect with each other. Was to just have a common enemy and talk shit,
which is so exhausting.
It's so exhausting. I was losing my shit.
I know.
I was like, can we just come and do our job and go home? This is the whole point of having this kind of job. You don't have to bring it home. You don't have to be stressed. And I get it. It's a stressful environment to be at a restaurant that's high volume and that, like, isn't, like, the systems aren't all in place, blah, blah, blah. But everyone's struggling together from the management down. You know, you can vilify the manager, you can vilify your coworker, but, like, all of us are stressed as fuck because it's just the way that, like, our society is going right now, right? And so it was just like, like, these guests have these expectations for this fancy food and, like, all this dumb crap. So cool, but, like, can we just at least try to be nice to one another and, like, and just not? And the thing too is, like, it's really hard because it's not like I don't want to just be like, I'm so much better than these people. Like, it didn't feel like that either. That's what drives me crazy. I do not feel like I'm better than anybody else. I don't feel like I've got something fucking figured out. Like, I do apparently, but I'm like, what the fuck? I'm not better than you. I got my shit. Yes, go ahead. Maria's wildly raising her hand.
Like a child. Okay, no, but that's so freaking funny that came up too, because yet another portion of my conversation with the lovely woman that does my eyelashes.
With your lash guru.
Right.
No, okay.
Was truly the way people connect. And she just had a friendship that ended, from what I recall, like kind of a turbulent way. But then this past weekend, she was telling me that she was with a friend's group of friends, and they were all like professional and successful. And she was just like, it was just such a different conversation, and it was so nice, and it felt so good. And she's like, and it helped me like flip the end of the other relationship, that other friendship, like into a blessing, because I don't even want to be around that anymore.
Right. Yes.
And she even said, she was like, and that's not to say that they're bad people.
No.
It's just like, we're in a different space. And we want different things for ourselves. And yeah, it's not about being, I think it's just different people have different capacities at different times.
Totally.
And like at this point in time, or like when you've had this experience, you've had a capacity for something just like on a different level. And like the words that I want to say like sound like a judgment, but you're able to connect on maybe a more sincere level.
Yeah.
A more authentic level, a more vulnerable level.
Vulnerable.
Because that's the thing about like people gossip and shit talking and all that stuff. It's like you're fucking safe.
Right.
Inside of yourself when you are just like,
because you're making all the right choices, you've got it all figured out. And most people don't feel that way, and it's a generalization, but like it's true. It's like it helps you to put that, to like have that other, because now you're fine. Yeah, you're safe. You're fine. You're not being annoying and stupid like that person.
Right.
You've got it figured out.
Right.
And it's true. You know, another funny part of it is too, like, okay, I'm thinking of another friendship that I did lose recently that was actually not even to talk about that specific relationship or person, but like in general, I also know when people are in really negative spaces, I annoy the shit out of them.
Yeah.
So like, fair. We shouldn't be around each other. I'm annoying the shit out of you. Because I look like I'm just like so fucking happy and positive and fine. That's how I get read, right?
Right.
Oh, you're so annoying, Maria. Stop being so fucking positive.
Yeah.
You're being blindly okay, we're going to bring it up. Toxic positivity, which I do think exists, and we're going to talk about that another time. But I've been accused of it, right? And it's like hilarious to me.
Have you really?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Toxic positivity.
Sorry, can I speak with those people?
I know. And it was like, oh what? Boy. Yeah, because I was so threatening to not want to engage in the constant negativity.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
That is very
But fair, because also that person's there, and they should probably be around other people. You know, I don't want that to happen. I don't like this like energy being perpetuated, but that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Sometimes people have to be around that all the time, and then each of them individually start to go, I'm tired of this, and start popping out of it.
Eventually,
I have faith in those people that they're going to pop out of it. It gets old.
Yeah.
Hopefully, right? And the people who really keep that their entire lives, they're fucking miserable, and that's fair. That was their journey too, to just really have a hard ass time. Fair. But, you know, I think a lot of people do pop out of it because it gets old at a certain point. It's just like, I don't have any more gossip to give because it's just like not interesting anymore. We're all fucking struggling here. We're all having a hard time. We're all like lost and confused and don't know what the fuck's going on and scared and all the things.
And it's like anything that I could feasibly gossip about, like that's just me on a different day.
Totally.
You know?
Totally. It's like I can't come for people because I'm I'm fucking innocent.
Oh my god, no. Yeah.
Like I don't mess up all the time and do stuff that I would have done differently on a different day, like you said. Yeah. And it's not like, and it's hard. It's hard too, let me say, because I do like to gossip. Let me be clear.
Oh yeah.
There is a part of me.
Sure.
That really enjoys gossiping. I really need to own that.
Okay.
Because like I do. And it's hard because then it's like I can get myself into that's where it's not like I want to just cut gossip out of my life, because for me that feels really rigid.
Right.
It feels really rigid.
So you are so good at like never like you're so good at detecting potential rigidity and like not participating.
Rigidity is funny for me. Yeah.
But that's amazing because like
Emma helped me point it out a couple years ago, and now I'm like rigid meter. Like no,
it's incredible though because
meter.
For me, I like box myself in 6 ways from Sunday without even realizing it, and I'm like, isn't this great?
No, yeah, but that's where you and I are so different, because then you're just like, you got the perfectionistic thing, and I need more of that, but you need less of it. Like, you know, duh, that's why we balance each other out. But like, I don't want to be so rigid that I just am like above all of humanity. I am a real people's person. So like I'm gonna gossip with you sometimes because it's fucking fun and nice and light. But I have gotten myself in trouble, and that's the thing I've been exploring the last several years, where I think I can do a bit and then I realize I'm with someone else that's gonna just run with it and go super negative and really never want to actually come out of that and spread it around. And then I'm like, fuck, now I'm stuck with these people that think that they can just gossip at me, and then I'm like here for it, or they want to be mean now. They want to get real mean and judgy, right? And I'm like, oh shit, like I overdid it. I didn't
know you were gonna take it that way.
Right, I overdid it. But that's why, and so now I'm more tempered with gossip from the start. I definitely don't want to do, because I get it. I get the negativity to gossip. I understand that. But I do also see the way you, like, when I say gossip, I also mean I just am very talkative, if we haven't all noticed, right? And my mind is like lightning speed, and I use my words that way. So I talk. Mm-hmm. And so, yes, it's very important to be impeccable with your word, right? Like, I get that concept.
#4 agreements.
#4 agreements. And I already know about myself that I will never be that person that, like, it will always be something I have my eye on to course correct as needed in time, but it will not be something where I'm going to rigidly be like, I need to be impeccable with my word from here on out and I'm say something I don't mean and never gossip or speak about another person, or I'm not going to do that. Because that's too much. That's too rigid. It's some never shit where I'm just like, that's not how I do connect with people through commonalities. And if there is a commonality of we get really annoyed by the same person, I'm not gonna just be like, let's not talk about it lest we go low vibe. But I do need to be careful from the start to understand what kind of person I'm dealing with. Because when I gossip with you or Emma, it's very different than when I gossip with other people. Right. We can say like, oh my God, that thing is so annoying about that person, like whatever. And then we always temper it by going, but that's their journey. And like, I know they're not a bad person. We always feel like we need to like temper what we're talking about, because we aren't trying to actually just bash on people to feel better about ourselves.
And it's so interesting too, like hearing you say all that, and like from the angle of not being rigid with yourself.
Yeah.
I love that. I think that's
so,
like...
Trust me, I need a little more discipline in my life, but...
Well, and I'm gonna present, like, my side of when that happens, too, because to me, like, the way that you've talked about it, like, I do not know why, but the word elegant is jumping out to me.
Oh, ma'am.
Like, I just channeled that word. Yeah. It is, because I think for me, and this like also lines up with like my philosophy on lying and rigorous honesty. So for me, it is pretty rigid.
Sure.
I'm always, and like obviously you are my best friend. Like you know my deepest, darkest thoughts, feelings, secrets. So maybe you and I have one other friend are the ones that I let my guard down with a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't even call it gossip, because I'm always really mindful of like, do I need support around this thing because I'm really frustrated and this person really upset me?
Yeah.
Or am I just bashing them?
Talking shit, yeah.
But otherwise, like aside from those instances, and like I truly am so careful, and it doesn't strike me as rigidity.
Yeah.
It just feels like I'm trying to stay aligned with my values, mm-hmm. which I guess like are maybe more on the rigid side in this department, but like I'm so careful not to say things about people when they're not around that I wouldn't say when they are around. Fair. And I obviously it's imperfect, and I don't want to talk about how imperfect it is, but like
no, I think that's a very good point. I think that also is where gossip comes from, mm-hmm. with people who do it like excessively. It's because they're never going to actually say it to the person's face.
Yeah.
Or just confront what's bothering them.
Right.
So they're just behind people's backs, just constantly complaining.
Right.
And want everyone else to agree with them and complain along.
Because it's validating, yeah.
Right. But that's fair, and I think that's something I do need to always keep an eye on, of like, I think that that's where like a line for me comes, where it's like, I I think your way is much more noble than mine, by far.
But yours is elegant.
Oh, great. Noble elegance. A fragrance. Okay.
Yes, let's get into that. Do you know how lucrative fragrances are? That's why Paris Hilton's
We're always trying to find money. No, but I do think that when I do talk about, and again, I'm very imperfect. I mean, I'm admitting to you, I gossip more than you do, like, right? Like, I'm gonna talk shit sometimes, but I often try to also know that I'm doing it about something that might be bothering me at the moment, but I am going to let go. And I don't need to talk to the person about it. Because that's on me. If I don't talk to them and I just keep gossiping, then that starts to be on me. If I'm just going to stay in this energy and actually be mad at them.
That's a really good point.
Right? Like, but if I just need to kind of, my thing is I process out loud.
Absolutely.
Right? And I process with my friends. So that's why I have the trusted friends that I know are not going to be assholes and like suck me into some like, yeah, I fucking hate that person. In fact, a lot of my friends, if they see an opportunity to calm me down, can be like, well, maybe this person was feeling this way when that happened. And then I'm like, you're right. They were just feeling that way. And I need that, right? Like, and we need that.
Yeah.
But like, especially if I'm just trying to like get it out and vent about it, then I know it's on me to let it go. If I'm not going to say something to the person.
And then I think you touch on something that's so important about it too. What you just said about letting it go is fucking brilliant. And I think that that's missing for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. But I also feel like there's a distinction between, and you alluded to this a little bit too, about like knowing who you're talking to.
Yes.
But like there is a distinction between like venting to a close friend, even if it's about a mutual friend, but because you need to process it, because you need to get it out, because you need someone else to reflect some information back to you, you need a different perspective. Right. I don't think that is gossip.
That's fair.
Like
that's fair.
Because the other thing too is like I have to like check my motive. Like
that's fair.
Like, am I having this conversation? Am I bringing this thing to you to like say a bunch of crap about this person that we both know?
Right.
Like, I don't know that it's ever been like a bunch of crap, but like, am I bringing this to you because I need help with it? I'm worried about that person and they might need help with something, or am I doing it to try to connect with you?
Yeah.
And I think like a lot of what you might be saying of like gossip is like falls into the realm of like talking about someone when they're not present, but I don't know that I would consider that gossip because your motive is not to like have something to talk about.
That's fair.
Your motive is like
to process something.
Yeah.
Fair.
And I think that's real important.
That's a fair point. Because that is the difference. That is the difference. Rather than just trying to connect with somebody over something and rather actually like trying to process something to let it go. Because I know the last friendship that fell apart, I did get caught in gossip with that one, and that one didn't feel good afterwards. Like, I felt like this person was gossiping about me, which is very, it's rare. I'm not saying people don't gossip about me. I'm sure people talk shit about me all the time.
Yeah, I do it all the time. Me and Emma.
Right. Right. No, and I'm sure, I know I annoy the shit out of plenty of people. Fully, fair, aware. But I was, for the first time, having people come to me. Multiple people coming to me and telling me this person was talking about me, saying things that weren't true or were hurtful or mean or weird. And I was just like, what? And then I do think from the energy of just like sitting around in my apartment, pandemic style, I did engage in some gossip that I think was probably about making me feel better that I was being shit talked.
For sure.
But like it happened very quickly that I had kind of whiplash, and then I moved away, and when I arrived at my next place, I just remember feeling gross. I was like, ugh, I think I just participated in that very grossly. I feel gross. I need a shower. I need an energetic shower. Like, because I felt like I didn't do great in that situation either. Even though I don't think that was a relationship that was healthy for me, I still didn't. I could have just tried to actually talk to the person. I could have for myself. I knew they weren't going to talk to me.
Right.
And I don't think it would have gone well if I tried.
Sure.
So that was sort of why, and it was something where I had to really think about, like, do I want this friendship? Is it worth trying to fix it? And unfortunately, like, it just really, overall, it wasn't. But still, now that time has passed, I'm like, did it have to be like that? Like, it didn't have to be this gross. Like, I didn't mean for that to happen, I didn't mean for it to actually fully fall apart, but of course also, that was just the way it was going to happen, and
that was the way it was going to happen, and also, like,
probably, for the best, I'm sure, but
the last thing I'll say is just that
that was also like heavily during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And like we will get to that on another episode for sure. But everyone was a less awesome version of themselves.
Absolutely. It's still happening, right? And it's like,
You
people are
and
not
me
doing well.
and
Everyone,
everyone
all of
else.
us, we're not our best versions.
We're not with our friends. We're losing our jobs. All these stresses. Nobody has any money, or people have too much money, or whatever the fuck's going on.
We're being judged for our choices. Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah.
Viciously.
And
being cut out of society. Anyway, NBD. Okay.
More on that later. But yeah, like no one... I mean, there's so much shit that happened during the pandemic that it was just like, we have to like look at it as like, we were just all, I don't want to say on our worst behavior, but we were all just like,
lots of nasty behaviors happening, or just icky behaviors going on. I mean,
right, because we all couldn't help it.
We all couldn't help it, and you talked about it a lot at the time, and I think you sound different now than the energy we were in at the time when you were saying it, but you were always just like, I don't know if people are going to be able to, like, own their bad behaviors from this time. Remember saying that a lot?
I do remember saying that, and I also remember saying, I don't know if people are going to be able to forgive each other. Right. Because I was very much of the mind that, like, I really hope everyone can just, like, everyone can just own it and forgive and, like,
right.
Let's move past this.
Right.
Yeah, I really wanted that at the time. It hasn't happened.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I still think it's going to happen, but it's always... I think forgiveness is a lot easier than people... We need to go. But I think that forgiveness is a lot easier to do than people think, and then they hold on to not forgiving because they think that's easier, but I actually think forgiveness can be quite easy. We all just went through such hell. Can we all just, like, call it even? Like, we all acted like shit, and we're all real sorry. It was real crazy. I love you. Like,
Yes,
like,
can we call it
which is hard.
Even.
Right, we just call it even. But it is hard because there obviously does still need to be, like, healing and processing of hurt feelings and
right. Can we get everyone's contract amended to at this point in time?
Right.
Include call it even. Okay.
Include call it even.
We have to go.
We have to
wrap
go.
Up forgiveness and
faith.
Wait,
sorry.
Next time,
sure.
And calling it even and all that stuff.
And pandemic bullshit, maybe.
We'll get into some of that. Yeah.
Yeah. We should just do it, but. Holla. Okay.
Okay, bye guys. See you next week.
Bye.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.
If you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe, leave us a 5-star review, and most importantly, share. This episode was hosted by Maria and Maria. Theme music composed and performed by Maria. Logo design by Maria. Recorded and produced by Maria. Snacks provided by Maria. Moral support provided to Maria by Maria.